Afraid, emotions getting in your way. Afraid, but why you let me fall in love if you're afraid to commit? And don't call me in the middle of the night and say that you're not able to be loved. That's not right. No, I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, so I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I'll be around. Yeah. You're not scared of love, just scared of love. Alright, alright, enough. Just tell me if you want my love or not, or not. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, yeah. So I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I don't wanna be that one. No, still a million miles from you. So I'm gonna let you go. You go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm
Tell him I need my money right now. Brought me the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. But don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was like mine. But let me find out, you've been going around throwing shots, running plots. Come on, man, tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell him I need my money right now. Brought me the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my loyalty, my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't ever
Afraid, emotions getting in your way. Afraid, but why you let me fall in love if you're afraid to commit? And don't call me in the middle of the night and say that you're not able to be loved. That's not right. No, I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, so I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew, not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I'll be around. Yeah. You're not scared of love, just scared of love. Alright, alright, enough. Just tell me if you want my love or not. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, yeah. So I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew, not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. No, still a million miles from you. So I'm gonna let you go. You go. Oh boy, if you only knew, not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever, though you can't deny. Hold it all inside. No, you can trust me. Just close your eyes, knowing that I'm
Tell him I need my money right now. Promise that you they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. But don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was like mine. But let me find out, you've been going around throwing shots, running plots. Come on, man, tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell him I need my money right now. Promise that you stay stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my loyalty, my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't ever lied, I had to leave. Handle your business, do what you think you need to do to get your revenge. But you won't break me, God, as my witness. Past the point of no return, I'm on a mission. Tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true. True. Tell him I need my money right now. Rob me the juice, they stole out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. Don't waste my.
Our cards down on the table, knowing there's no way that you'll be able to win this one. But she's somebody else in the making. First, she just gotta stop all the faking, and she'll be.
You broke my heart a million times.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I made you cry.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
We're such a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones hate, they make me smile. I stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Oh, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Can we be honest? You're my comfort zone. Whatever I say, don't let me go. I know you're angry, babe, and I am cold. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones hate, they make me smile. I stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. To work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Oh, yeah, to work things out, 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 to work things out.
Hey, can you guys hear? I got all my alarms going off. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me get this under control. Let's get this under control. We are reading a new book. Are you guys excited? Is everybody excited? We're about to read a new book today. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, everybody. All right. Ready to, why is the camera so dark? Oh. Either way, welcome. It just seems like my camera's dark. Can't really explain it. All right, let's see. Give me a sec. Give me a quick sec. Okay, that's a little better, I think. Welcome to another chapter of Rich People Read, where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. I'm glad you guys are finally here. I was running late, had to get ready for the show. Had to take care of some logistics, and it took me an extra 3 to 4 minutes. I'm glad you guys are here. So for those that don't know, Rich People Read is a book club. It's a live book club. It's a live book club where we read a book a month to instruct us in the power of reading. I want you guys to make sure that you are typing in salute. I adjusted the system. To make sure that the salute should work for everybody. I'm not sure if it is, but it should be working for everybody. Let me go take a look. On yesterday, it wasn't working the way I wanted it to. Today, it should be. Oh yeah, it's working. Well, I think it's working. I see I got Kimberly in there. I got Steven in there. I got Sherry in there. I got Lakeisi in there. I got Ms. Drea. Listen, I want everybody to type salute in the chat so you can be entered to win a free gift card. But let's check it out. Listen, Rich People Read is an online book club where we read a book a month to instruct us in the power of in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. And we just finished the book of Obsidian. 42 chapters. Fantastic book. In fact, he's coming out with a women's version. The book of Obsidian is coming out with a woman's version. And this week he's wrapping it up. I've talked to Obsidian. He said this week he's wrapping it up. So we may have to read the women's version. But for February, we had to read The 4 Agreements. This is a book that I've been meaning to read for a long time. Some of you guys have The 4 Agreements. Some of you guys have heard of The 4 Agreements. And for those that have heard of The 4 Agreements, many of you have wanted to read this book. Well, now's the time, because today we're opening it up. We open it up, we cracking open the cover. I want you guys to go purchase the book. Now, remember, I told you, everybody needs to have the actual physical books, because having the physical books, once you get to the lifestyle and the income and the house that you want, I know that you're going to put a library in there. And you're going to have to populate this library with all the books that's giving you the successful ways of thinking and living to get you that house. You're going to want to populate those with books that you have already read. Listen, for the people that I know here in Los Angeles that are kind of wealthy, that got a bunch of bread and big old houses, every single one of them have a library in their house. Every one of them. Every time I go to somebody's house, or we have an event or we have some kind of dinner or whatever, when you go to the house, and they normally show you around their house and show you the pool area, show you the foyer, they show you the paintings and shit. They always, somehow you find your way into the library. And then you say, damn, did you read? Yes, I read all of these books. So I need you guys to start building your book collection. If you haven't done it since you were 18 years old, no better time than the present. So one thing I need you to do, this is important for everybody. I want you to run over to this description of this video, and you'll see a link that'll take you straight to Amazon. It'll take you straight to Amazon. And guess what? This book is $7 shipped for free if you have Prime. It's a $7 book. So this book is cheaper than the lunch that you are going to eat today. This book is cheaper than the lunch that you are going to, than that junk food that you're going to eat today. This book is cheaper than that. So there's really no excuse not to grab the book. Now you can get the ebook. Everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody, you guys are already throwing your ones up. Let me go over here and look at my chat. I'm not even paying attention to the chat. C. Anthony Johnson, he blessed the channel with a $5 super chat. You know that makes him the stream sponsor. You know that makes C. Anthony Johnson the stream sponsor. He's always supporting this channel. He supported me last night. And now he's supporting me again. Let me put him in. Let me immortalize him and throw him on the screen. C. Anthony Johnson, I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate you for always blessing this channel with investments. That's how we call it. We don't call it donations. We don't call it, support. What it is, support, but I call it blessing. So thank you, C. Anthony Johnson, for the $5 blessing and the continued investment in this channel. I appreciate you. You are now the stream sponsor. So like I was saying, everybody I know has, oh, no. I was telling you guys to go grab the book. You want to grab the 4 agreements. The link is in the description of this video, and you can get the ebook or you can get the physical book. I'd rather you get the physical book so you can have it in your hand, so you can put a bookmark in it, so you can highlight the things that are important. Go ahead and grab it. You'll have it by tomorrow. Today we're reading chapter 1, and we're reading the introduction and the beginning of the book too. And this book is an easy read. Listen, guys, this book is only 100 pages. I think it's like 106 pages. You know, the book that we just read, Obsidian, was 566 pages. The book before that we read, Think and Grow Rich, 450 pages. Oh no, I got that backwards. Think and Grow Rich was like 454 pages, and Think and Grow Rich was like 466 pages. Book of Obsidian was 554. This book that we're reading right now, that we're starting today, that you're going to listen to me read to you, that you're going to see on the screen and read along with me, the book that you can go grab an ebook, is only 100 pages. And I still spread it out. So that means these shows are going to be short. We're going to knock this out in maybe 30 minutes and we're out of here. But the reality is, if you read along with me, you'll be able to say that you read this book. I know there's a ton of people out there like me that's been wanting to read, that's been meaning to read, that had the desire to read, and then just didn't. Maybe we came up with excuses. Maybe we said we didn't have enough time. Maybe it was life, whatever it was. But there was reasons why we didn't read. Well, now's the time. And if you're going to tap into YouTube and you're part of the YouTube family, you're part of the YouTube streets, right? Then why not take a little bit of slither of time to tap in with your boy and go ahead and knock out some of those books? Because you know you don't have to read yourself to actually say that you read a book. That's where audiobooks come in, right? Remember Audible and Kindle and stuff like that? You can listen to somebody else read to you, and that's considered reading. Well, that's what this is. Because your boy Shannon is going to read this book to you. Now, I'd like you to read along with me, but if you don't want to do that, excuse me, just tap in, put your earpods in, turn up the volume, and I'll read it to you. Let me go say what's up to some of my friends in the chat. I'm gonna scroll up to the top. What up, Steven? Dr. Phil says, I love this book. It's such a great read. Exactly. I've never read it. I've never read the 4 Agreements. I've been reading to read the 4 Agreements for 20 years. So now I'm going to, hey, Lakeisha, I'm glad you're back, love. Thank you for the workout this morning, Lakeisha. Sherry's in the house. Hi, Sherry. I haven't seen you in a minute. It's been like a week, Sherry. Hey, Kimberly. It's good to see you, love. It's good to see you, Kimberly. We're going to scroll. Drea's in the house. It's good to have you here, Drea. Everybody, are you guys typing salute? Make sure you guys are joining. Chicago Rilla's in the house. My God, Chicago. Hoo-ah! Chicago Rilla's in the house. Happy is here. Hey, Happy. Hey, Happy. Oh, I just talked to Happy on the back chat because Happy didn't like something that I said last night on the Ask a Black Man Anything channel. And Happy was like, well, what you saying? What you trying to say, Shan? Well, wait. What you trying to say? Well, hold on. So I had to hit I told her, I was like, look, Happy, I'm live.
Welcome.
We can talk about it in a second.
To the real world.
So I'm glad Happy is here. And she just subscribed to the channel. Happy is a wonderful friend of mine that I met on Clubhouse last year. I've known her for about a year. She's very smart, and she's trying to hold me to the fire to talk about what I talked about last night. So I'm glad you're here, Happy. We're going to read this book, though. Today, Happy, check this out. This is our first day of this book. We've read books before, but we read a new book a month. And so I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. LaRonda is here. It's good to see you. Lapeef Network is here. I'm hitting the hoorah on my favorite friends like Chicago Rilla and the Lapeef Network. And then we got C. Anthony Johnson that blessed the channel. Thomas Thompson. My favorite. Stephen Day. My favorite, Ty Kai. My favorite friends. I'm glad you guys are all here. Happy says, I just jumped in. Just so happened to have the digital copy and the physical. See, I told you guys that Happy is smart. She already got the book. She got the digital copy and the physical copy. She didn't even know we was reading this today. She didn't know this was the beginning, that I'm getting ready to start in the next 5 minutes. So shout out to you, Happy. But I already know that you are kind of top shelf. You're not the average woman, Happy. So it's good to have you here. My man, hi, Kai. Then Chicago came in and blessed your boy with a $10 super chat. Everybody throw your ones up to Chicago.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody throw your ones up to Chicago Realist. Chicago is the stream sponsor, y'all. Chicago is the stream sponsor. My man came in. Chicago is always blessing me. He's over with the Lapeef Network. He's my King Talk mate. Let me throw him up on here. Chicago Rilla. 2 words. Chicago Rilla is now the stream sponsor. I got my man streaming across the bottom of the screen. So this will be forever immortalized that he has invested and blessed in my channel. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Chicago. I appreciate you. In Chicago, by the way, the talk that we talked last year, we're going to go ahead and knock that out. I had to get through COVID, bro. January, had to get through COVID, got things going. So let's go ahead and have that conversation that we've been meaning to have since, November? And let's go ahead and hit them with that, man. Let's knock out 2022 when it comes to that. I appreciate you, Chicago. Thank you so much for your blessing, man. All right, guys, listen. What did C. Anthony? Did C. Anthony hit me with 2 super chats or 1? Oh no, it's just 1. But I didn't say what he said. C. Anthony Johnson had said, "Salute, my guy. Salute to you, bro. Hoo-ah! Salute to you." Oh no, this is the sound.
Sir, yes, sir.
Salute to you, C. Anthony Johnson. I appreciate you. Let's put in the work. Exactly. Let's get enlightened. Happy, as an example, has already read this book. But a lot of us has been wanting to read. I've been wanting to read the 4 Agreements for 20 years, you guys. And I never got a chance to read it. So we're getting ready to read it right now. And I want you guys just to read along with me. If you don't have the physical book or if you don't have the ebook, that's fine. Just listen to your boy and let's get it. Now, the 4 Agreements, let me switch over to the screen. The 4 Agreements it says here, let me read you the description of this book. In the 4 Agreements, the best-selling author Don Miguel Ruiz reveals the source of self-limiting beliefs, right? We talked about that during our workout earlier this week. I told you guys that your muscles are stronger than you think, but our brain limits how much muscle we use. That's why a lot of times when there's a particular workout, you be like, damn, I don't want to do that. That's because mentally your brain is limiting how far you're going to go. And that's what he's explaining here. Who was that? My man, Hi Kai in the house. Everybody throw your ones.
Being number one isn't easy.
Hi Kai is blessing the channel. Hit us with a super sticker. I appreciate you, Hi Kai. Thank you, bro. Hi Kai is one of my workout mates, you guys. He's part of the daily burn that we do every morning live on this channel at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yes, Hi Kai. And he almost got the MVP of today, but he got burned out towards the end and Sorrell came in and whooped his butt. But that's all right. That's all right. Hi Kai is my guy. Thank you for the blessing, Hi Kai. I appreciate you and your support, man. And have a wonderful Sabbath. You know, my mother, she's Hebrew. So she does the same thing every Saturday. So and she goes to feasts every year. I mean, she does all of that. I learned a lot of that from my mom. So shout out to you, Hi Kai. In the 4 Agreements, the best-selling author, Don Miguel Ruiz, reveals the source of self-limiting beliefs that rob us of joy and create needless suffering. Based on ancient Toltec wisdom, we're going to learn about Toltec wisdom. He's going to explain it in the preface of this book. Based on ancient Toltec wisdom, The four agreements offer a powerful code of conduct that can rapidly transform our lives to a new experience of freedom, true happiness, and love. So that's what we're reading. And this is a fast read. You guys, we're going to be done with this book in 2 weeks. You know, we read, we read, I'm getting FaceTimes. We read every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we're going to just do one chapter. So it's going to be really fast. And I usually talk a lot before we start reading, especially at the beginning of a book. So let's get started, you guys. Let's get started. All right, let's see. Anybody else? Hey, Drea. Oh, hey, Drea. It's good to see you again. You always support me, Drea. Drea worked out with us live this morning, too. All my, like, Lakeisha was working out with us. Drea was working out with us. Oh, my son is FaceTiming me. I'll hit you in a minute, son. Not even sure. He should be in school. Why am I getting a FaceTime from his iPad? I'm not sure. I'll call back that later. All right, here we go. So let's get through the four agreements. Copyright written in 1997. To the circle of fire, those who have gone before, those who are present, and those who have yet to come. So here's our book, The Toltec. So here we go. Now, mind you guys, I've never read this book in my entire life. I do not know. What I'm getting ready to read to you is the very first time for me to read it. So let's read along. Everybody turn your volumes up, pop your ear pods in, and then let's knock out the four agreements. All right. The Toltec. Thousands of years ago, the Toltec were known throughout southern Mexico as women and men of knowledge. All right. So the Toltec were people. Okay. Anthropologists have spoken of the Toltec as a nation or a race, but in fact, the Toltec were scientists and artists who formed a society to explore and conserve the spiritual knowledge and practices of the ancient ones. They came together as masters and students of Teotihuacan, the ancient city of pyramids right outside Mexico City, known as the place where, quote, man becomes God. Over the millennia, the Nagals, right, which were the masters, the Nagals were forced to conceal the ancestral wisdom and maintain its existence in obscurity. European conquest, white people, European conquest coupled with rampant misuse of personal power by a few of the apprentices made it necessary to shield the knowledge from those who were not prepared to use it wisely or might intentionally misuse it for personal gain. All right. So now that's the Toltec. Those are people. They were scientists 1,000 years ago. Fortunately, the esoteric Toltec knowledge, the esoteric, you know what esoteric means, right? It's highly exalted and private. Private. That's what esoteric usually means, private and not available to the public. It's only a certain amount of people that can know about this. Fortunately, the esoteric Toltec knowledge was embodied and passed on through generations by different lineages of the Nagals. Through it remained veiled in secrecy for hundreds of years. Ancient prophecies foretold the coming of an age when it would be necessary to return the wisdom to the people. Now, Don Miguel Ruiz, today, a Nagal from the Eagle Knight lineage, has been guided to share with us the powerful teachings of the Toltec. Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth as all the sacred esoteric traditions found around the world. Though it is not a religion, Toltec, it is not a religion. It honors all the spiritual masters who have taught on the earth. While it does embrace spirit, it is most accurately described as a way of life, distinguished by the ready accessibility of happiness and love. All right. So now you guys understand what the Toltec is. All right. What up, Cam? Salute to my man, Cam. I'm glad you in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Let's continue. Now, here's the introduction to the book. Let's go ahead and knock out the introduction. All right. It's only a few pages. 3,000, excuse me, 3,000 years ago, there was a human just like you and me who lived near a city surrounded by mountains. The human was studying to become a medicine man, to learn the knowledge of his ancestors, but he didn't completely agree with everything that he was learning. In his heart, he felt there must be something more. There must be something more. Shout out to A to Z. We're getting ready to start. I'm reading the introduction to the new book, The Four Agreements, A to Z Health. So just tap in, turn your volumes up, and I'm just reading right now I'm just reading the introduction. Okay. One day, as he slept in a cave, I guess everybody slept in a cave thousands of years ago, right? Okay. 3,000 years ago. So everybody slept in the cave. Sidebar. One day, as this man or this person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, they call it a human. One day, he says he. So this man slept in a cave. He dreamed that he saw his own body sleeping. He came out of the cave on the night of a new moon. The sky was clear, and he could see millions of stars. Then something happened inside of him that transformed his life forever. He looked at his hands, he felt his body, and he heard his own voice say, "I am made of light. I am made of stars." He looked at the stars again, and he realized that it's not the stars that create light, but rather light that create the stars. Everything, quote unquote, is made of light, he said, and the space in between isn't empty. And he knew that everything that exists is one living being, and that light is the messenger of life because it is alive and contains all information. Then he realized that although he was made of stars, he was not those stars. Quote, "I am in between the stars," he thought. So he called the stars the tonal. That's what he called them, quote, tonal. He called the stars the tonal, and the light between the stars was the nagal. And he knew he knew that what created the harmony and space between the two is life or intent. Without life, the tonal, right, which is the stars, without life, the tonal and the nagal could not exist. Life is the force of the absolute, the supreme, the creator who creates everything. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of one living being we call God. Everything is God. And he came to the conclusion that human perception, what you guys perceive, right, is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. Shout out to A to Z Health. Oh, let me finish this up. And the world of illusion, the dream, is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. Quote, the real us is pure love, pure light, he said. Everybody throw your ones up to A to Z Health. Everybody throw your ones up to A to Z.
Being number one isn't easy.
Hit us with a super sticker and just bless the channel. Has no question. Didn't want to say anything. Just hit us with a $10 super sticker. $9.99 super sticker. Shout out to A to Z Health. Everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
A to Z Health, I appreciate your support. I appreciate your blessing, and thank you for your continued investment in this channel. Things like your super sticker is what encourages me to continue to read books. And you're making it available for me and my staff to be able to do the research and produce the show. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, A to Z Health, for your continued help and support and blessings in this channel. Thank you so much. All right, let's continue. This realization changed his life, right? Once he knew what he really was, he looked around at other humans and the rest of nature, and he was amazed at what he saw. He saw himself in everything, in every human, in every animal, in every tree, in the water, in the rain, in the clouds, in the earth. And he saw that life mixed the tonal and the nagal in different ways to create billions of manifestations of life. In those few moments, he comprehended everything. He was very excited and his heart was filled with peace. He could hardly wait to tell his people what he had discovered that night, but there were no words to explain it. He tried to tell the others, but they couldn't understand. They could see that he had changed, that something beautiful was radiating from his eyes and his voice. They noticed that he no longer had judgment about anything or anyone. He was no longer like anyone else. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. They believed that he was an incarnation of God and smiled when he heard this. And he said, quote, "It is true, I am God, but you are also God." He said, yes, it's true. I am God. You know what Kanye West said, right? Sidebar. Kanye West said, I am a God. Yes, I'm a God. What you want me to say? I'm a nigga? Would you be more comfortable? He was talking to the white people on the interview. Would you be more comfortable with saying I'm a gangster? Would you be more comfortable with me saying that I'm a nigga? No, I'm a God, right? Made people uncomfortable. This is before he became a billionaire. All right, let's continue. He said, it is true, I am a God. But guess what? So are you. You are also a God. And this means you guys that I'm talking to on YouTube right now, you are also a God. We are the same, you and I. We are images of light. We are God. But still, the people didn't really understand him, right? He had discovered that he was a mirror for the rest of the people, a mirror in which he could see himself. Everyone is a mirror, quote unquote, he said. He saw himself in everyone, but nobody saw him as themselves. And he realized that everyone was dreaming, but without awareness, without knowing what they really are. They couldn't see him as themselves because there was a wall or like a fog or smoke between the mirrors. And that wall of fog was made by the interpretation of images of light, the dream of humans. Oh, I can't wait till we talk about that chapter because I read the chapters that we got to talk about, and one of them was talking about dreaming. When I read it, I was like, oh man, this sidebar. I was just like, damn, I can't wait till we get to that part. All right. Hey, Major Change Group. Happy to have you here. We're reading, and we haven't started yet. We're getting ready to read the first chapter of the 4 Agreements. I'm just knocking out the introduction. It's good to have you here. Hey, Run with Kim. I'm glad you're here too. Princessa, you're here. I'm glad Princess is here. I didn't see you. She's already helping. Princessa is one of my main moderators. Between Princessa and Lakeisha, those are my most favorite and most coveted moderators. Let me finish this up. Then he knew that he would soon forget all that he learned. Ooh. He wanted to remember all the visions he had. So he decided to call himself the smoky mirror so that he would always know that matter is a mirror, and the smoke in between is what keeps us from knowing what we are. He said, quote, I am the smoky mirror because I am looking at myself in all of you, but we don't recognize each other because of the smoke in between us. That smoke is the dream, and the mirror is you, the dreamer. All right. So that's the introduction. Living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstanding, all you see. John Lennon said that. All right, you guys ready for chapter 1? We're only reading chapter 1, and it is only it's only 16 pages. So, we'll be done in about 15 minutes. I'll say 20 minutes at the max, and we'll be done until we read again on Monday. That was the Toltec people. So he explained who the Toltec, I didn't know the Toltec was people. So he explained the Toltec people and their philosophies. And then he also gave us the introduction. Now we're getting ready to go ahead and read the book. I'm glad you guys are all here. Thank you so much. Everybody turn your volumes up. We're getting ready to read chapter one of the 4 Agreements. It's not actually the 4 Agreements. I think chapter 2 is agreement 1, so on and so forth. But this is chapter 1, dedication and dream of the planet. All right. So everybody turn your volumes up. Let's go. What you are seeing, excuse me, what you are seeing and hearing right now on YouTube, what you are seeing, if you're watching me on YouTube, or if you're just listening to me and you have your phone put down, or what you are seeing and hearing right now is nothing but a dream. You, my friends, on YouTube are dreaming right now in this moment. You are dreaming with your brain awake. Dreaming is the main function of the mind, and the mind dreams 24 hours a day. It dreams when the brain is awake, and it also dreams when the brain is asleep. The difference is that when the brain is awake, there is when the brain is awake, there is a material frame that makes us perceive things in a linear way. When we go to sleep, we do not have that frame. And the dream has the tendency to constantly change. Sidebar, you guys know as well as I do, most times we forget what we dreamed about the night before. You know, we'll kind of know right when we wake up at first and we like, damn, I just dreamed about that. But if you ask yourself, what did you dream last night, 4 hours after you wake up, you kind of won't forget. But when you do wake up and you remember your dreams, don't you remember that you dreamed so many different things? It's like you started off on this adventure and then you ended up at your cousin's house. And then next thing you know, you was working on building a house. And then next thing you know, you were shopping at the mall. And the next thing you know, you was at the nightclub. And it's all in one night. It's like, damn, I'm doing all these different things. I'm all over the place. So just like he says, the dream has a tendency to constantly change in one night when you're asleep. Humans are dreaming all the time. Before we are born, the humans before us created a big outside dream that we will call society's dream, or the dream of the planet. The dream of the planet is the collective dream, of billions, with a B, billions of smaller personal dreams, which together create a dream of a family, a dream of a community, a dream of a city, a dream of a country, and finally, a dream of the whole humanity. The dream of the planet, you know, the big dream, the billions of dreams, that's what we call it, the dream of the planet. The dream of the planet includes all of society's rules, all of society's beliefs, its laws, all of society's religions. It includes its different cultures. It includes ways to be. It includes all of its governments. It includes all the schools, social events, and all of the holidays. We are born with the capacity to learn how to dream, and the humans who lived before us teach us how to dream the way the society dreams. The outside dream has so many rules that when a new human is born, when a baby is born, we hook the child's attention and introduce these rules into his or her mind. The outside dream uses mom and dad, the schools, and religion to teach us how to dream. Attention is the ability we have to discriminate and to focus only on that which we want to perceive. That's our attention, paying attention. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. We can perceive millions of things simultaneously, but using our attention, when we pay attention to something, we can hold whatever we want to perceive in the foreground of our mind. So we can think millions of things at one time. But when we have our attention on something, it comes to the foreground. It comes to the front of our mind. The adults around us hooked our attention and put information into our minds through repetition over and over and over and over again. That's what the adults did while we were children. That is the way we learned everything we know. Repetition. Eat your food. Sit down. Watch TV. Pay attention. Go in the house. Put on your pajamas. It's bath time. Sit down. Eat these food. Drink this milk. Repetition over and over and over again. Let's continue. By using our attention, we learned a whole reality, a whole dream. We learned how to behave in society, what to believe and what not to believe. What is acceptable and what is not acceptable. That's what we learned through repetition. What is good and what is bad? What is beautiful and what is ugly? What is right and what is wrong? It was all there already, to be honest with you. All that knowledge, all those rules and concepts about how to behave. Everybody, shout out, throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
The blessings are continuing, you guys. The blessings are coming in. Thank you, Kareem Austin. Thank you. I think this is the first time. I think this is the first time Kareem Austin has ever blessed this channel with an investment. He hit us with a $10 super chat, and dig this. He hit us with a super chat, but he didn't have a question. He didn't have anything to say. He had no question. He just wanted to bless the channel and give some love. Thank you, Kareem. Everybody, throw your ones up to Kareem Austin.
Being number one isn't easy.
For those that don't know or have never been here before, when people bless me with super chats, I stop what I'm doing. At this level, while I'm small and I'm not flying and I don't have thousands of people, I'm acknowledging everybody that's blessing this channel. Is because I'm a small channel. I only have like 3,000 people that's following me. And so if you got the what word am I looking for? The wonderfulness to come in here and bless me with like $10, then I'm stopping what I'm doing and I'm going to acknowledge you. So thank you, Kareem Austin. I appreciate you. And everybody, throw your ones up. Thank you so much.
Being number one isn't easy.
Now let's continue. All right. Now listen, everybody. When you were in school, this is for you guys. I want you guys to think back. I know you're listening to me read. When you were in school, you sat in a little chair and put your attention on what the teacher was teaching you. That's what you did when you were in school, right? When you went to church, you put your attention on what your pastor or your priest or your minister was telling you. That's what you did when you went to church. It is the same dynamic with your mother and your father, with mom and dad, your brother and your sisters as well. They were all trying to hook your attention. We also learn to hook the attention of other human beings, and we develop a need for attention, which can become very competitive. Kids compete for the attention of their parents, their teachers, their friends. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. Hey, I'm over here. My son does it. Dad, look at this. And then he jumps up and does a spin. I'm like, what, Law? What do you, watch. And he just does the jump. I'm like, what the fuck are you? I don't say that, but in my mind, I be thinking, what the fuck are you doing? All you did was just jump up and spin around. But my son wants my attention, right? Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Hey, I'm here. The need for attention becomes very strong and continues into adulthood. The outside dream hooks our attention and teaches us what to believe, beginning with the language that we speak, be it Mandarin, be it English, be it French, be it Spanish, doesn't matter. It starts with the language that we speak. Language is the code for understanding and communication between humans. Every letter, every word in each language is an agreement. We call this a page in a book. A word page is an agreement that we understand. Once we understand the code, our attention is hooked and the energy is transferred from one person to another. It was not your choice to speak English. By the way, everybody, do you realize it was not your choice to speak English? You didn't choose your religion or your moral values. They were already there before you were born. We never had the opportunity to choose what to believe or what not to believe. We didn't have that chance. We didn't have that opportunity. We never chose even the smallest of these agreements. We didn't even choose our own name. As children, we didn't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs, but we agreed. Highlight, agreed with the information that was passed to us from the dream of the planet through other human beings. The only way to store information is by agreement. The outside dream may hook our attention, but if we don't agree, we don't store that information. As soon as we agree, we believe it. And this is called faith. To have faith is to believe unconditionally. All right. BGS, my man, he says, I love the 4 agreements. You guys know that BGS is one of my favorite people on YouTube. I talk about my 4 favorite people. First of all, I'm gonna put his post up. BGS is here, you guys. He's one of my favorite. I told you guys, Kevin Samuels, my frat brother, right? Edward Anderson, Obsidian, and BGS. Those are they like my big OGs and they don't even know it. Shout out to BGS for being here. Thank you, bro. He said he loves this book. All right, let's continue. To have faith is to believe unconditionally. That's how we learn as children, ladies and gentlemen. Children believe everything that adults say. They don't challenge you, do they? Sidebar. Kids don't challenge they believe everything. Children believe everything that adults say. We agree with them, and our faith is so strong that the belief system controls our whole dream of life. We didn't choose these beliefs, and we may have rebelled against them, but we were not strong enough to win the rebellion. The result is surrender to the beliefs with our agreement. I call this process the domestication of humans. The domestication of humans. And through this domestication, we learn how to live and how to dream. In human domestication, the information from the outside dream is conveyed to the inside dream, creating our whole belief system. First, the child is taught the names of things. Mom, mommy, dad, dad, milk, bottle. That's what children are first taught. Day by day, at home, at school, at church, from television, in these days, from iPads, right? From the internet, we are told how to live. What kind of behavior is acceptable? Things like that. The outside dream teaches us how to be a human. We have a whole concept of what a woman is, right? Think about it, everybody. Sidebar. We have a concept. You as an individual human being right now in your brain, you have a concept of what a woman is and what a man is. When you think about it. And we also learn to judge. We judge ourselves. We judge other people. We judge the neighbors, right? Children are domesticated the same way that we domesticate a dog or a cat or any other animal. In order to teach a dog, right? In order to teach a dog, we punish the dog and we give it rewards. We train our children whom we love so much the same way that we train any domesticated animal, with a system of punishment and reward. We are told, quote, "Oh, you're a good boy," or "You're a good girl," when we do what mom and dad wants us to do. When we don't do what mom and dad wants us to do, we're told, "Oh, you're a bad girl," or "You're a bad boy." When we went against the rules, we were punished. We went along with the rules, we got a reward. That's what happened when you went along with the rules. We were punished many times a day, and we were also rewarded many times a day. Soon, we became afraid of being punished and also afraid of not receiving that reward. That's how we were indoctrinated. That's how we were raised. The reward is the attention that we get from our parents or from other people like siblings and teachers and friends. We soon develop a need to hook other people's attention in order to get the reward. Hold on one second. Did I get this super chat? No. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the reward feels good, doesn't it? Ever since a child, that reward felt good. And we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get that reward. Even today, as adults, we keep doing things to get the reward of others. With that fear of being punished and that fear of not getting a reward, it could be money, it could be love, whatever it is, right? We start pretending to be what we are not, just to please others, just to be good enough for someone else. We try to please mom and dad. I know I do. I try to please my mother, right? We try to please the teachers at school. We try to please the church. And we start acting like we become actors. We pretend to be what we are not because we are afraid of being rejected. The fear of being rejected becomes the fear of not being good enough. Eventually, we become someone that we are not. We become a copy of mama's beliefs, daddy's beliefs, society's beliefs, religious beliefs. All our normal tendencies are lost in the process of domestication. And when we are old enough for our mind to understand, we learn the word no. The adults say, don't do this and don't do that. We rebel and say, no. Like that's usually around 2 or 3 years old, right? We rebel because we are defending our freedom. We want to be ourselves, but we are very little. We're like 2 years old, 3 years old saying no, right? And the adults are big and strong. After a certain time, we are afraid of those adults because we know that every time we do something wrong, we are going to get punished. The domestication process is so strong that at a certain point in our lives, we are no longer we no longer need anyone to domesticate us. We get to a point where we don't even need nobody to domesticate us. It becomes autopilot at that point, right? It becomes on autopilot at that point. We don't need our mom. We don't need our dad. We don't need the school anymore. We don't need the church to domesticate us anymore. We are so well trained as we grow older, as we become 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old, 13 years old, 16 years old. We are so well trained that we are our own domesticator. We are an anti-domesticated animal. An auto-domesticated animal. We become an auto-domesticated animal. We can now domesticate ourselves according to the same belief system we were given and using the same system of punishment and reward. That's sidebar. That's like Democrat. Your parents are a Democrat. You become a Democrat. Your parents are religious. You become religious. Your parents are racist. You become racist. And then it becomes so automatic that you grow into adulthood and you start auto-domesticating yourself. And you start pushing the same beliefs that your parents pushed on you that you probably otherwise wouldn't have believed if you weren't domesticated, right? Let's continue. We can now domesticate ourselves according to the same belief system that we were given and using the same system of punishment and reward. We punish ourselves when we don't follow the rules according to our belief system. We reward ourselves when we are the good boy or the good girl, right? The belief system is like a book of law that rules our mind. Without question, whatever is in that book of law is our truth. We base all of our judgments according to that book of law, even if these judgments go against our own inner nature. Even moral laws like the 10 Commandments from the Bible are programmed into our mind in the process of domestication. One by one, all of these agreements go into the book of law, and these agreements rule our dream. There is something in our mind that judges everybody and everything, including the weather, the dog, the cat, everything, you guys. The inner judge uses what is in our book of laws to judge everything we do and everything we don't do. everything we think and everything we don't think, and everything we feel and don't feel. Everything lives under the tyranny of this judge. Every time we do something that goes against the book of law, the judge says we are guilty. We need to be punished. We should be ashamed. This happens many times a day, at day after day, for all the years that you're alive. There is another part of us that receives the judgments, and this part is called the victim. Let me repeat that again, everybody. Pay attention. There is another part of us that receives the judgments, and this part is called the victim. The victim carries blame, guilt, and shame. It is the part of us that says, poor me, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of love. Poor me. The big judge agrees and says, yes, you are not good enough. And this is all based on a belief system that we never chose to believe. We didn't choose it. It was put on us. These beliefs are so strong, you guys, that even years later, when we are exposed to new concepts, other ideas, other religions, other faiths, other truths, other politics, even later, when we are exposed to new concepts and try to make our own decisions, we find that these beliefs still control our lives. Whatever goes against the book of law will make you feel kind of funny, will give you a funny sensation in your solar plexus, and it is called fear. Breaking the rules in the book of law opens your emotional wounds, and your reaction is to create emotional poison, because everything that is in the book of law has to be true. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. Even if the book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe, even in your wrongness. Ooh, sidebar. That is part of the need to be right. Remember, we talk about sign language created by my man BGS Ibmore. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Even if the book of law is wrong, your book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe. So even in your wrongness, you feel comfortable. And that's why a lot of people like to have the need to be right. Right. And that's why we got to break out of this shit. And that's what we're here for. So that's why we're reading together. Right. We're going to work. Because listen, I'm reading this book. This first time I'm reading this book. I've never read this book. And I'm reading it as I read it to you guys. And I'm animating it a little bit as I go. But I'm fucking learning right now. I hope you guys are learning too. So let's continue. Exactly, Cam. It reminds you of slavery. Exactly. Let me throw that up on the screen. Exactly. All right, let's continue. That is why we need a great deal of courage. Oh, who has that? Who has courage these days? That is why we need a great deal of courage to challenge our own beliefs. Because even if we know we didn't choose all these beliefs, it is also true that we agree to all of them. The agreement is so strong that even if we understand the concept of it not being true, we feel the blame, we feel the guilt and the shame that occurred if we go against these rules. Just as the government, right? The United States, let's use the United States government of all governments to use. Just as the government has a book of laws that rule the society's dreams, our belief system is the book of laws that rule our personal dreams. All these laws exist in our mind. We believe them, and the judge inside us bases everything on these rules. The judge decrees, and the victims suffer the guilt and punishment. But who says there is a justice in this dream? True justice is paying only once for each mistake. True injustice is paying more than once for one mistake. How many times do we pay for one mistake? Everybody, think about it before I continue reading. Sidebar. How many times do we pay for one mistake? Right? True justice should be you pay one punishment for one mistake. Injustice is if you're paying more than once for one mistake. How many times do we pay for one mistake? The answer is thousands of times. The human, which is what I am and what you are, is the only animal on planet Earth that pays 1,000 times for the same damn mistake. The rest of the animals on planet Earth pay once for every mistake they make. But not us humans. We have a powerful memory. We make a mistake, we judge ourselves, right? We find ourselves guilty, and then we punish ourselves. If justice exists, then that was enough. We don't need to do it again, right? But every time we remember, we judge ourselves again. We are guilty all over again. And we punish ourselves for that mistake that we already punished ourselves from before, just because we remembered it all over again and again and again. If we have a wife, fellas, if you have a wife, or ladies, if you have a husband, right? And he or she also reminds us of the mistakes that we make, right? So we can judge ourselves again. Even though you already did it multiple times yourself, now your spouse is reminding you and judging you and punishing you again and again and again. We punish ourselves all over again and find ourselves guilty all over again. I mean, is this fair, you guys? Is this fair? How many times do we make our spouse or our children or our parents pay for the same mistake? Every time we remember the mistake, because we have a powerful mind, human beings have a powerful mind. Every time we remember the mistake that we made, we blame them again and send them all the emotional poison we feel at the injustice. And then we make them pay again for the same mistake. Is that justice, you guys? The judge in the mind is wrong because the belief system, the book of law, is wrong. The whole dream is based on false law. 95%, I'm talking 95% of the beliefs we have stored in our minds are nothing but fucking lies. And we suffer because we believe all these lies. In the dream of the planet, the big one, right? The millions of personal dreams. In the dream of the planet, it is normal for humans to suffer, to live in fear, and to create emotional dreams. The outside dream is not a pleasant dream. It's a dream of violence, a dream of fear, a dream of war, a dream of injustice. The personal dream of humans will vary, but globally, it is mostly a nightmare, you guys. It is mostly a nightmare. Is Sir Hale here? I just saw somebody say something to Sir Hale. Salute Sir Hale speak. Is he here? I don't see him on the chat. I ain't gonna scroll. But if my man Sir Hale is here, shout out to my man. Hoorah.
Hooah!
All right. Shout out to Sir Hale. I'm glad he's here. What did it say? It is the global dream for all humans, right? The big dream of all of us is really, you guys, lots of violence and fear. It's really a nightmare. If we look at human society, we see a place so difficult to live in because it is ruled by fear. Throughout the world, okay, guys, check it out. Throughout the world, we see human suffering, anger. We see revenge. Look at the news. We see addictions and shit. We see violence in the street. We see tremendous injustice with the police and people that, we just see that. That's every day, all over the world. It may exist at different levels in different countries around the world, but fear is controlling the outside dream. If we compare the dream of human society with the description of hell that religions all around the world have promulgated, we find they are exactly the same. Religions say that hell, like that fiery place, hell is a place of punishment. Hell is a place of fear and pain. Hell is a place of suffering, a place where fire burns you, Fire is generated by emotions that come from fear. Whenever we feel the emotions of anger, whenever we feel jealousy, whenever you guys, get envious or you feel hatred of something or someone, we experience a fire burning within us. Did you know that? We are living in a dream of hell. If you consider hell as a state of mind, then hell is all around us. Hell is all around us. Others may warn us that if we don't do what they say we should do, we will go to hell. Bad news, we're already in hell, including the people who tell us that. No human being can condemn another human being to hell because we're already there. Others can put us into a deeper hell, true, but only if we allow this to happen. Only if we allow this to happen. Shout out to my man Beasley. Shout out to SB. I'm glad he's here. Hoorah.
Hoorah!
Let me say, he said, someone just was speaking to me about this book yesterday. Look at that. Look at how that works, right? I'm reading chapter 1 right now. We just started. Today's day 1 of this book. I'm glad you're here, Bees. Good to have you here, man. Let me continue. Others can put us in a deeper hell, true, but only if we allow this to happen. Every human being, this includes everybody on YouTube that's listening to this video, that's watching me or listening to me right now. Every human being has his or her own personal dream, and just like society dream, it is often ruled by fear. We learn to dream hell in our own life, in our own personal dream. The same fears manifest in different ways for each person, right? Of course. But we experience anger. We experience jealousy, hate, and envy and other negative emotions. Our personal dream can also be an ongoing nightmare. Oh my God. Our personal dream can be an ongoing nightmare where we suffer and live in a state of fear. But we don't need to dream a nightmare. It is possible to enjoy a pleasant dream. It is possible to enjoy a pleasant dream. All of humanity, everybody, all humanity is searching for truth. Everybody is searching for justice and beauty. We are on an eternal search for the truth because we only believe in the lies we have stored in our mind. We are searching for justice because in the belief system we have, there is no justice, you guys. We search for beauty because it doesn't matter how beautiful a person is. We don't believe that person has beauty. We keep searching and searching when everything is already within us. There is no truth to find. Wherever we turn our heads, all we see is the truth. But with the agreements and beliefs we have stored in our mind, we have no eyes for this truth. We don't see the truth because we are blind, you guys. What blinds us are all those false, remember 95%, all that 95% of false beliefs we have stored in our mind. We have the need to be right. Oh, wow. Look at him. He mentioned what I said earlier, what I talked about with BGS, the sign language, the end, the need to be right. How did that manifest into this book, right? Remember, I never read this before. We have the need to be right and to make others wrong. We trust what we believe, and our belief set up for suffering. It is as if we live in the middle of a fog, right? It's like we live in the middle of a fog that doesn't let us see any further than our own nose. We live in a fog that is not even real. This fog is a dream. Your personal dream of life, what you believe, all the concepts you have about what you are, all the agreements you have made with others, within yourself, and even with God. Your whole mind is a fog, which the Toltec, remember we discussed the Toltec earlier, which the Toltec called, well, hold on. Shout out to Kimberly. Everybody throw your ones up to Kim.
Being number one isn't easy.
Throw your ones up to Kim. She's blessing the channel. She's blessing the channel with more investment. She says, here's to getting ourselves out of the shit and creating new Yes. Yes. I'm learning I'm learning this shit in real time, Kim. Let me put it back up on the screen. She said, she put 20 on it, you guys. She said, here is to getting ourselves out of the shit and creating new agreements. Not the stuff, not the 95% of the bullshit that was taught. You guys, Kim has now become our stream sponsor. So let me go ahead and throw that up. Shout out to Chicago Rilla who gave us 10, but Kim Versilo, make sure I spelled it right. Yeah, Versilo is our new stream sponsor. She is the sponsor of the show. Her name is now going across the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much, Kim. Exactly. Thank you for the blessing and thank you for the support. And thank you for everybody throwing your ones up to Kim.
Being number one isn't easy.
We only got 5 pages left, so we'll be done in about 6 minutes. Here we go. Your whole mind is a fog, which the Toltec called metote. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, I said it right. Metote. Your mind is a dream where 1,000 people talk at the same time and nobody understands each other. This is the condition of the human mind, a big metote. And with that big metote, you cannot see what you really are. In India, they call the metote Maya, which means illusion, right? It is the personality's notion of I am, quote unquote. Everything you believe about yourself, ladies and gentlemen, everything you believe about yourself and the world, all the concepts and programming you have in your mind are all the metote. We cannot see who we truly are. We cannot see what we cannot see that we are not free. Ooh, that reminds you of the Matrix a little bit, right? Sidebar, doesn't that remind you of the Matrix a little bit? You're plugged into a system and you don't even know that you're plugged into the system. You're just a battery. You got something stuck in the back of your head and you're just living your life in this construct that was built to basically lie to you. It reminds me of the Matrix. So remember, the Toltec called it the Toltec called it the metote. Your whole mind is a fog. That's the metote, right? That's the Matrix. Let me put it into the terms that you guys can understand. Let's continue. That is why humans resist life. To be alive is the biggest fear that humans have. Death is not the biggest fear we have, by the way. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive. The risk to be alive and express what we really are. Just being ourselves is the biggest fear of humans. We have learned to live our lives trying to satisfy other people's demands. We have learned to live by other people's points of view because of the fear of not being accepted and not being good enough for somebody else. That's how we all live our lives. Think about it. It includes you. Don't make it seem like you better than anybody else. It includes you too. Especially even the woke folk. During the process of domestication, you as a child, you remember that, right? We form an image of what perfection is in order to try to be good enough. We create an image of how we should be in order to be accepted by everybody. We especially try to please the ones who love us, like mom, like dad, big brothers and our sisters, the priests and the teachers. Trying to be good enough for them, mom, dad, friends, priests, teachers, trying to be good enough for them, we create an image of perfection, but we don't fit this image. We create this image, but this image is not real. We are never going to be perfect from this point of view. Never. Not being perfect, we then reject ourselves. And the level of self-rejection depends upon how effective the adults were in breaking our integrity as children. After domestication is no longer about being good enough for anybody else, We are not good enough for ourselves because we don't fit with our own image of perfection. And that's where, hey, that's why people do makeup, and that's where people have self-esteem. Sidebar. That's where people have self-esteem issues, and that's where men work out and do all this extra stuff to try to. That's where women wear hair that's not theirs and weaves and shit, and that's where we're trying to. That's what he's talking about. You see what I'm saying? Not being perfect, we reject ourselves. We cannot forgive ourselves. No, we are not good enough for ourselves because we don't fit with our own image of perfection. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being what we wish to be, or rather what we believe we should be. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being perfect. We know we are not what we believe we are supposed to be, and so we feel false, frustrated, and dishonest. We try to hide ourselves. Like I mentioned the makeup, right? That we try to hide ourselves, and we pretend to be what we are not. That's where the weaves come in. That's where the BBLs, that's where the surgery comes in for you ladies. For men, that's where it comes, where you trying to floss and you're renting cars that you know you can't buy. That's why you want to hide that fat belly gut that you got, right? Even men are getting toupees because they're bald and they're, come on, you know what I'm talking about, you guys. We all suffer from this. Don't make it seem like you're better than anybody else. We try to hide ourselves and pretend to be what we are not. The result is that we feel unauthentic to wear social masks to keep others from noticing this. We are so afraid that somebody else will notice that we are not what we pretend to be. We judge others according to our image of perfection as well. And naturally, they fall short of our expectations. We dishonor ourselves just to please other people. Ladies and gentlemen, let me read that again. We dishonor ourselves. We dishonor ourselves just to please other people. We even do harm to our physical bodies just to be accepted by others. You see teenagers taking drugs just to avoid being rejected by other teenagers. They are not aware of the problem is that they don't accept themselves. They reject themselves because they are not what they pretend to be. They wish to be a certain way, but they are not. And for this, they carry shame and guilt. Humans punish themselves endlessly for not being what they believe they should be. They become very self-abusive, and they use other people to abuse themselves as well. But nobody, listen up, guys, listen up. Yes, A to Z health, tattoos, exactly. Listen up, everybody. But nobody abuses us more than we abuse ourselves. And it is the judge, the victim, and the belief system that make us do this. True, we find people who say their husband or wife or their mother or father abuse them, right? We hear people that say, oh, they abuse me. But you know that we abuse ourselves much more than them. The way we judge ourselves is the worst judge that ever existed. If we make a mistake in front of people, think about it, you guys. If we make a mistake in front of people, we try to deny the mistake and cover it up. But as soon as we're alone, as soon as we're all by ourselves, the judge becomes so strong, the guilt is so strong, and we feel so damn stupid or so bad or so unworthy when we get by ourselves after we made that public mistake. In your whole life, nobody has ever abused you more than you have abused yourself. And the limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from somebody else. If someone abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, you will probably walk away from that person. But if somebody abuses you a little less than you abuse yourself, you will probably stay in the relationship and tolerate it endlessly. You know what, guys? I'm sorry. I got to read this again. I got to read this part again. I want everybody to listen up. I don't know if you guys caught this. Everybody pay attention. I want to read this again because, we talk about relationships and we talk about entrepreneurship and we talk about the dating and mating streets, especially here in Black America. I want to read something to you guys again. All right. Listen up. In your whole life, nobody has ever abused you more than you abuse yourself. And the limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from somebody else. The limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you'll tolerate from somebody else, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, husband or a wife, parent, right? If somebody, now listen up, here's the key, here's the part that I want you guys to pay attention to. If somebody else abuses you a little more than you would abuse yourself, you will probably walk away from that person. You don't fuck with them no more. You cut them out your life. I mean, they're beating you up more than you beat up yourself. They're more judgmental. They're pushing you to the limit harder than you push yourself. They're telling you about yourself and your problems more than you tell yourself about your problems. And because that happened, you get rid of them. But, and this is what I want to explain. If somebody abuses you just a little bit less than you abuse yourself, you will probably stay in that relationship, abusive and all, and tolerate it endlessly. Think about your past relationships, guys. Come on. Think about the people that you cut out your life, the people that challenged you or pushed you harder. You probably got rid of them because they were abusing you more than you abused yourself. Think about the people who abused you just a little bit less than you abused yourself. You stuck with them. Let's continue. If you abuse yourself very badly, you can even tolerate someone who beats you up physically or humiliates you and treats you like dirt. Why? Because in your belief system, you say, I deserve it. The person is doing me a favor by being with me. I'm not worthy of love and respect. I'm not good enough. We have the need, as human beings, we have the need to be accepted and to be loved by others, but we cannot accept and love ourselves. The more self-love we have, listen up, the more self-love we have, the less we will experience self-abuse. Self-abuse comes from self-rejection, and self-rejection comes from having an image of what it means to be perfect and never measuring up to that ideal. Our image of perfection is the reason we reject ourselves. It is why we don't accept ourselves the way we are. It is why we don't accept ourselves the way we naturally are. And reject ourselves naturally are. And why we don't accept others the way they naturally are. Now, here's a prelude to a new dream. Okay, we're getting ready to wrap this up. 2 pages left. Prelude to a new dream. There are thousands of agreements you have made with yourself, with other people, with your dream of life, with God, with society, right? With your parents, with your boo, your spouse, right? Even with your children. Thousands of agreements. But the most important agreements are the ones you made with yourself. In these agreements that you made with yourself, you tell yourself who you are and what you feel, what you believe, and how to behave. The result is that the result is what you call personality. It's just my personality. In these agreements, you say, quote, this is what I am. This is what I believe. I can do certain things and some things I cannot do. This is the reality. That is the fantasy. This is possible. That is impossible. One single agreement is not such a problem, but we have many agreements that make us suffer, that make us fail in life. If you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, let me repeat that sentence, ladies and gentlemen. Please pay attention. If you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, you have to find the courage to break those agreements that are fear-based and claim your personal power. The agreements that come from fear require us to expend a lot of energy, but the agreements that come from love help us conserve energy and even gain extra energy. Each of us is born with a certain amount of personal power that we rebuild every day after we reset, right? Go to bed and wake up. Each of us is born with a certain amount of personal power that we rebuild every day after we reset, go to bed, wake up. Unfortunately, my friends, we spend all of our personal power first to create all of these agreements and then to keep these damn agreements. Our personal power is dissipated by all the agreements we have created, and the result is that we feel powerless. We have just enough power to survive each day because most of it is used to keep the agreements that trap us in the dream of the planet, the big dream, right? How can we change the entire dream of our life when we have no power to change even the smallest agreement? If we can see it is our agreements that rule our own life and we don't like the dream of our life, we need to simply change the agreements. When we are finally ready to change our agreements, when we are finally ready to change our agreements, there are four very powerful agreements that will help us break those agreements that come from fear and deplete our energy. And lastly, my friends, each time you break an agreement, and we got thousands of them, I'm sorry, but each time we break an agreement, all the power you use to create it returns to you. You hear me? Each time you break one of those false, negative, bad agreements, all that power that you use to create that false, negative, bad agreement returns to you. If you adopt these 4 new agreements that we're going to read, they will create enough personal power for you to change the entire system. The entire system of your old agreements. If you adopt these 4 new agreements that we're going to read about, they will create enough personal power for you to change the entire system of your old agreements. You need a very strong will in order to adopt the 4 agreements. I'm sorry, this is not for the weak folk. This is not for the weak folk. This is not for the weak folk. You need a very strong will in order to adopt the 4 agreements. But if you can begin, listen to me, fellas. Listen to me, ladies. But if you can begin to live your life with these agreements, the transformation in your life will be amazing. You will see the drama of hell disappear right before your very eyes. Instead of living in a dream of hell, you will be creating a new dream, your personal dream of heaven. And we are done. The first agreement is what we're going to read on Monday. I'm not even going to let you see it. Everybody, real quick, first of all, let me swing back to my screen. Go back to me. And I want all the soldiers to salute.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Run with Kim.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Run with Kim just became a member of the SR Army, you guys.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Let's help her take her life to the next level the way we're taking our lives to the next level. Shout out to you, Run with Kim. Thank you so much for joining the Army. We appreciate you. We welcome you. We love you. Please follow the instructions. Send that email over to us. Attention, everybody. Throw your salute, soldiers. You got the special emojis. When you go down in the chat, on the chat, at the very top, that's only for you. Let's all give Run with Kim
Yes, ma'am.
a salute. Thank you. We appreciate you for joining the team. I appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we just finished. The introduction. We learned what the Toltec was, and we read the first chapter of the 4 agreements. We're going to learn these agreements. We're going to learn them. I can't wait. I almost want to read it. I don't know if I could wait till Monday. Shit. Is that wild? Everybody throw your ones up to Sherry.
Being number one
Sherry
isn't
coming
easy.
in like the clutch. Sherry's like Kobe. She come in. She like the mama. Come in with the clutch. Hit us with the $50 super chat and don't have nothing to say. She don't have a question. She don't have a concern. She don't want to make a statement. She just says, Shan, let me put that on that. Shan, let me put that on that. Everybody, throw your ones up to Sherry.
Being number one
I think
isn't
Sherry's
easy.
always shopping with us over at our one of our brands, Bars Rawls. She's always shopping with. She supports this brand. She supports this channel so much. She's a member of she's a soldier. Sherry supports this channel so much. Sherry,
Being number one isn't easy.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that blessing and your investment in this channel today. Let me go ahead and update the stream sponsor, Sherry. Yes, this ain't the first time, guys. Sherry's sponsored so many streams. Let me throw her up. Sherry is now our stream sponsor. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your help. You guys, are y'all ready to read the rest of this book? I certainly am. And I embellished it. And this is the biggest chapter. Today is probably the longest stream that we're going to have. Everything else is just chapter after chapter, just chapter. Today we read what the Toltec was. Today we read the introduction. And then we read chapter 1, which kind of broke down each one of the future chapters. All right. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I can't wait. Let's all read this together just to help us a little bit. Eat the hay, spit out the sticks. Let's just read this together just so we can understand what is going on with our own minds, with the world, what people believed 3,000 years ago, before pollution and technology and shit like that. I appreciate each one of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support, and thank you for helping me become a better man myself. In return, I will provide information that I've learned along the way, my wisdom, to help people become better people as well. Thank you so much. Listen, my name is Mr. Shannon Rawls. Thank you for reading along with us. And remember that reading is the way to expand your mind and your bank account. I care about that bank account. I'm big on the bank account part. I want all of y'all to be wealthy. We need to get the wealth back into our community. I want all of y'all to be rich. Tune in next time to Rich People Read. Thank you to everybody that supported the channel. Please like this video. And can I get a thumbs up on the video? Let YouTube know that this show is kind of like worth watching. Just thumbs up. Everybody got free thumbs ups, right? Appreciate everybody. Tune in next time to Rich People Read. And you, my friends, are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. En mí o en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener. Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Quiero ver. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes la mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Me haces falta, bebé. Dime qué tengo que hacer. hacer pa' tenerte de una vez, pa' no poderte perder. Dulce, eres mi bombón, te quiero melocotón. Por ti corro un maratón, solo de la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente, yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Mira, somos perfectos, es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos, porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso miento. Chica, necesito mis anteojos, quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente, yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada.